Jake Tapper was speaking with Mark Kelly, the former astronaut and husband of former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, who you probably know from her tragic shooting a few years back, and they were talking in the wake of the Oregon shooting. They talked about many aspects of the shooting and the conversation since then, but the topic of gun-free zones came up, something that we've heard a lot about recently, very little of it remotely accurate or remotely helpful. Now, thankfully, Mark Kelly has some very smart things to say on the topic.
I want to ask you about gun-free zones, because Oregon is a state where people can carry concealed weapons on them, but the school itself, Umpqua Community College, was a gun-free zone. What is the purpose of putting up a sign that says gun-free zones? It seems to a lot of people that that might attract bad guys.
Well, I mean, there have been studies that have shown, first of all, mass shootings, there's been about, less than 15% of them have happened in a gun-free zone. And there's no indication from another study that any shooter intentionally went to a gun-free zone. You often see that as, some folks will say that that's why somebody went to a gun-free zone. Well, there's no evidence of that. And I think the idea is where there are more guns, people are less safe. I mean, if you have a gun in, any kind of situation where things start to get heated, there's a higher likelihood that somebody's going to get shot. And I think when we see in states where the gun laws are the strongest, there are less deaths from gun violence. That is certainly clear.
So thank God that Mark Kelly was there for that, because Jake Tapper, maybe he was just playing devil's advocate, but in his intro, in his question, he seemed to be buying into the conversation that the conservatives have been having, that this was a gun-free zone, and that gun-free zones are the reason that people die. And thankfully, Mark Kelly had the stats there saying that actually very few of these mass shootings actually happen at so-called gun-free zones, and so that can hardly be said to be the sole driving factor. I would say not even an influence, and I'm going to give you many reasons why I believe that. But first of all, when it comes to the Oregon school, they keep saying that it's a gun-free zone. It's not a gun-free zone. In Oregon, they made the decision, I think the bad decision, but they made the decision to make it illegal to ban guns on college campuses. They can put up the sign that says you can't have a gun, but you legally can have a gun. And we know, by the way, that at the very least one person had a gun on campus. And he was interviewed, and he chose not to get involved, but at least one person did have a gun. So quit fucking lying and saying it's a gun-free zone. It objectively was not a gun-free zone, because it legally can't be, and there were guns present, and there could have been others as well. But let's not talk about this one specifically. Why do they keep saying that if these weren't gun-free zones, the shootings wouldn't happen? Because every bit of common sense and our actual experience in this country over the past few years shows that that's untrue in almost every way. And I want to talk about a few of those aspects. First of all, they say that the shooters choose to go to gun-free zones. That it's because guns won't be there that that's why they go and shoot up that place. That is wrong and stupid and dangerous to say. Here's the truth. People don't choose, when they do these mass shootings, these massacres at schools and stuff like that, they don't roll a die. They don't throw darts with pictures of campuses on different spots on the dartboard. They don't choose it at random. They go to the place where they know the people, where they falsely put their suffering. They put them onto those places and those people. Like the guy who attacked Sandy Hook, he didn't go there because, oh hell, it's a random place and there won't be guns there. He had an attachment to it. The shooter in this case had an attachment to that community college, Umpqua. They go there because that's where they want to do the shooting, not because there won't be guns there. That's such a fucking stupid thing to say. And every one of these shootings shows that that's... Like Columbine, did they go to a random high school? They went to their high school because that's where they wanted to shoot people. The lack of guns or the presence of guns is irrelevant to it. That's where they want to do it. And here's a more important reason why it doesn't fucking matter if there are guns there. Because these people almost invariably, and this is true of Umpqua Community College, this is true of Sandy Hook, this is true of Columbine, they are planning to kill themselves. They're not going there because they won't get shot if they go to a gun-free zone. Oh, they're worried about their bodies. They want to be safe, so they go to a gun-free zone. They go there knowing that they're going to blow their fucking brains out afterward. Yeah, they're security guards. Every fucking college has security guards. There are guns there anyway. And they know the cops are going to be there instantly. They know that because they've seen this before. And I'm sorry that if it seems like I'm yelling at you, I'm not yelling at you. I just have to keep hearing these misconceptions and lies and propaganda about gun-free zones that is 100% untrue. They go there because they have a connection, and they go there knowing they're going to die. They don't care if it's at their own gun or if it's a random student or security guard who has a gun. They know they're not getting out of there. That's why they kill themselves in almost every case. They go there to die. Every one of these things that you've heard about gun-free zones is an absolute goddamn lie. And trying to stop gun-free zones from existing in places like college campuses is not simply a lie. It's not simply a misperception of reality, but it is going to get people fucking killed. Because bringing the gun zone to the campus is not going to stop the shooters from going there. Because as we've pointed out, as we've proven here, they will go there because they want to kill those people at that place. It won't stop them out of fear of dying because they already plan to die anyway, but it will get other people killed. Because even though it has no effect on massacres and those sorts of intentional shootings, it will lead to other sorts of shootings. Because we know from stats from all over this country and countries around the world that when there are more guns present, people die more often. It is going to skyrocket the number of accidental shootings of people cleaning their gun or forgetting their gun, guns being stolen, all of that sort of stuff. It is going to lead to escalation in conflicts that don't require guns. Okay, we've already seen the stats, by the way, that you are far more likely to kill a person with a gun in a fight, even if they don't have a gun, so long as you do. You're 4 times more likely to murder a person. And they show that when people say that they have defended their home, that's what they needed their gun for, 50% of the time, they escalated the fight. It didn't need to happen, but they felt so proud of themselves and so secure with their own gun that, like George Zimmerman, they decided to make it lethal even though it didn't have to. And we're going to see more of that in college campuses if you get rid of the gun-free zones. We're going to have drunk people firing their guns off. We're going to have people getting into fights with their girlfriends and boyfriends and killing them. Getting rid of the gun-free zones is not going to stop one mass shooting, but it is going to lead to a lot of other shootings of all different sorts. So Mark Kelly, he's got it right. He is right on gun control, and he's made that sort of his mission in life after getting out of being an astronaut, and so that is a good thing. Hopefully Jake Tapper will learn something as a result of this. If he wasn't playing devil's advocate, I'll give him at least that much credit. You can't listen to these lies. You can't trust these lies about gun-free zones. Everything they're telling you is bullshit, and changing the policy is only going to get more people killed.